Hi there. As I mentioned earlier, we can now create very quickly 3D assets from something as simple as a picture. And this was the pump skid that I shared a little bit earlier. I'm going to take the next step now and show you how to create a full-fledged simulator around this. And the first thing I'll do here, I will select my pump skid. It's going to give me a little preview here, and I'm going to move forward. There's basically 8 steps that I go through. Get the 3D object, set the environment. I'm going to skip that for now because it takes a little bit longer if I do it. And then it asks me for some type of standard operating procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and add one here. So we did a very simple lockout tagout procedure for electrical, water pressure, pneumatics for this pump skid. So what Genseis 3 does now is that it's going to analyze the information I've given it, so the 3D model and the SOP, and then it's going to make sure, as far as possible, that a valve is called a valve, electrical panel is called electrical panel. Anyone that's worked with 3D modeling knows that naming convention is not always perfect. So this is the first step. Typically AI does 95% of the job for me, and then I do a quick check. I might skip that here, so I'm just showing the process. So this will take a few seconds, and once this is done, we'll see the list populated here, and we can also look at the labels. Even a small 3D model like this, since it is segmented, has quite a few different components. So now we see here, it started to name things, so like pump skid, control panel, electric motor. So I'm going to say I'm happy with this. If I was really doing something super important, I would check every one of them. And if I wasn't happy with some naming, I can always go in and change it, right? So, but let's continue. The next step is to auto-configure, and this should go relatively quickly here. And here we can see that the system has decided it has a high confidence level on the green ones. So again, if this was something mission critical, I would go through and adjust. But for my purposes here, it looks good. I'm going to confirm. Remember, I'm not going to use all the couple of hundred components or whatever it is here at the end of the day. I'm only going to use basically the electrical panel, the water valve, and the pneumatic control part. Since I'm doing the lockout tagout on those components. And basically the lockout tagout will add, the SOP will add in the next step here. So it's identified the possible interactions, and now I'm going to take my SOP and upload it here. The reason we do this 2 times, by the way, the first part is just to verify the naming conventions, and that's important for the simulation. Now it extracts a procedure. So you could have a different type of document for the naming conventions, and then a manual maybe, or some drawings, and then you have your operating procedure. And now it's uploaded that, and we can see here that we have 12 steps. It's identified 1 as critical, verify 0 energy. That's kind of the last part. You don't want to have missed something there, because then things get dangerous. So I'm going to say I'm happy with this. I'm speeding this up a little bit just to not make you sit through a too long video. But normally, for something more complex, it can take upwards of half an hour, maybe an hour. I think this one, since it's fairly simple, can do in 10 minutes. If I go back a few years doing this manual with programmers, 3D artists, all of those things would have taken maybe a couple of days, maybe a week. For something more complex, you can talk about months or maybe even years.
Notify operations and all affected employees that
Now,
pump skid
I'm at the human
P-204
review,
is going
and
offline
I'm
for
getting
service
a
and will be locked
voiceover
out.
here that tells me what's going on. And this is done basically so I can approve the different steps. And as I go through and approve the steps, I can either do a overall refine. I'm not going to do that here, but that's an option. But I can do things like, okay, I want to have this view here. So I'm going to approve it.
Confirm you are at the correct asset, pump skid P-204. Verify the asset ID plate and locate all 3 isolation points, BR204, V204, PN204.
So that's perfect, pump skid P204, I'm happy with that. I'm going to use this view because I like that better. Okay, pump skid, I must have unchecked it there. So I'm going to save that, and then it's going to take me through that same step again. Since
Confirm you are at the correct asset, pump skid P204.
Okay, I'm going to speed up a little bit now. I'm going to do less of manipulation because I'm sure you don't want to spend too much time.
Stop the pump using the local stop button on the control panel.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Locate breaker BR204, 480 volt 350.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Switch breaker BR204 to off.
Okay, that's
Fit the red triangular breaker pin lockout so the handle cannot be moved to on.
I'm going to change the view a little bit. I'm going to save it. If I had a breaker, I could have
switch breaker BR204 to
see
off.
that on the wheel here in a second.
Fit the
so that's good. And now we're going to water isolation.
Locate gate valve V204, DN150 process water. Confirm the label matches P204.
Zoom in here a little bit so it's more clear. View set. It's the valve is there, so I'm happy with that.
Locate gate.
Okay, I'm going to approve that.
Close V204 fully, clockwise to hard stop.
So that's
Fit the yellow gate valve lockout cover over the hand wheel. Open the casing drain vent to relieve trapped pressure and verify flow stops.
I want to do the wheel here, ideally. So let me see where I have that. Maybe I missed it. Electrical motor, motor base, bypass valve. Okay, I'm just going to stick with this and do a highlight, but you can also do things like rotations and different parts. But we'll use that, and then move on to the next step. And the next step is going to be the pneumatic.
Locate the pneumatic control plug PN204, control air supply.
Part here.
Confirm.
I'm happy with that. I'm going to approve it.
Hook the red multi-hole group hasp through the breaker lockout, primary group lock point.
Okay. So
all 3 isolation devices must be in place before the hasp is applied.
The control panel for this. Oops.
Close your personal safety padlock through a hasp hole, remove the key, and keep it on your person. Attach a completed danger tag, name, date, reason, next to the padlock. Every worker on the job adds their own lock.
Okay, so I'll pick one here. I'll change the view a little bit, and I'm going to say save. I'm going to say approve. Again, I'm not a subject matter expert in this area, and that's really
Close your personal safety padlock through a hasp hole.
And that's the final step. I'm going to approve it. And what you can see now
Attempt to start the pump at the local panel.
is when we're done with all the steps and we're happy with
Notify
it,
operation.
I can hit publish, and I can do it to my team or public or private, a little bit depending on what I want to do. And as you can see here, we have desktop, mobile, tablet, AR glasses like Ray-Ban or more intrinsic, or VR headset like MetaQuest. And once I hit publish, I'm gonna be able to start the training. I won't go through the whole thing since this would be too long then. But I have a couple options: show me, train me, let me try, and then evaluate. As I progress here, I get a lot of help on show me, no help on evaluate, and a little bit less as I go along. I'll just start show me.
Notify operations about the project so everyone is informed and prepared. This step.
Okay, and she's talking to me there, give me the
Focus on the pump
instructions.
skid P-205
Verify
as it
it's
plays a key role in the
P-204.
system's functionality, identifying it correctly and
I have to
the control
turn
panel is
off
where
the
you'll
control
press the stop
panel.
button to shut down the pump,
Okay,
which
so
is
that's a
crucial
quick
for safety
overview
and
of how
preventing
quickly
any
you can
system
go from
issues.
basic information like images, standard operating procedures to a full-fledged simulator. Thanks for spending the time. Bye-bye.